explain the timing lights for our speakers.
Okay. I just want to say before I start, my 7-year-old son this weekend he's just starting to learn the concept of time. And I saw him this Sunday. He was yelling out to his friend next door, and he said, "Hey, Wade, you want to play?" And Wade said, "Oh, I got to go to church." So my son said, "Well, how long is church?" I said, "I don't know how long it is." So my son said, "Well, how many songs do they sing?" So when here at Toastmasters, we don't time by songs. We use these lights right here. And for most prepared speeches, for an icebreaker speech will be 4 to 6 minutes. And the green light would come on to let you know that 4 minutes is up. The amber light would come on to let you know, well, I don't think it's coming on.
Manual is the basic competent communication manual. It's speech number 2, organize your speech. It is requested 5 to 7 minutes. Objectives as shown in the manual is to give an informative speech. Will you please welcome to the lecture Toastmaster Mark Showcroft.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day, and all other Toastmasters and welcome guests. I just want to start off by saying that, we were enjoying our honeymoon, and we were up in Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. And we're at a cottage, and our second night there, my wife had attempted to get up to go to the bathroom, and she fell to the floor and collapsed. And while I was panic struck with this whole thing, I had never seen anything like this before. And she had no feeling. All in her whole left side was just like paralyzed. And I had to go get her some orange juice. And she got back into bed eventually. She came to and she got back into bed, and I had to try to go back to sleep, and I couldn't. I couldn't settle down. It just the fear that something might happen with her health, and this was just starting out. But one of the things I wanted to make clear is that a lot of people, I don't think, realize the effect living with somebody that has diabetes, how it affects them. And I don't know if a lot of people really understand what diabetes is. So what I want to do is to try to inform people about what it is and some of the effects it has. First of all, there's 2 types of diabetes, and it's diabetes mellitus. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correct, but it's a form. It got its name because of the sweet tasting that they used to have. People in ancient times, they would taste the urine, and that, I know it sounds really disgusting, but that's what they did, and they would know that the urine had a lot of sugar in it because of the flies that would and the ants would come in around it. So this disease has been around for a long time, and but there's 2 different types. One of them is the type 1 diabetes, is juvenile diabetes, and that got its name. It's also called insulin dependent, and it's when the pancreas, it has endocrines that it creates, and these endocrines, one of them is insulin, and it's made in these islet cells called they're inside the pancreas, and they're excreted into the bloodstream, and they're supposed to control the sugar levels released into to give your body energy. And what happens in type 1 diabetes is that through an autoimmune disease, something attacks. They're not really sure how it happens, but something attacks these islet cells, the beta cells that are in here, and it creates the body not to make the insulin. So they have to do shots of insulin. And then what that causes, though, is it causes some of the symptoms of it is a lot of thirst, because what happens is the sugar is, it drains a lot of the moisture out of the cells, out of your cells, because of not metabolized, it doesn't metabolize the sugar. And it causes a lot of thirst and a lot of frequent urination, and that's, what it's doing is draining all your cells. It's draining your cells of all the water, and that's one of the main causes. I mean, one of the main symptoms of having it. The other type is type 2, which is adult onset diabetes, and that's more affected by, it's caused by diet, and it's a lot of it is, they say, hereditary, and it has to do with where it's a resistance to insulin. The body doesn't regulate it right, and it can be corrected by through diet, and there's pills that they have now. But it's real popular. It's more popular than type 1. Type 1 is only about 10% of the 10% of the people have diabetes. They're type 1, and the other one is more known, and it's real with elderly people. That's usually with age. But the thing with diabetes that makes it difficult is with type 1 diabetes, it's a constant struggle. You have to regulate your sugars. You have to test your sugars all the time. You have to know what they are, and before you eat, and then you have to adjust what you do. And you have to watch the activity you do, because the activity you do creates you need less insulin. And what scares me the most is these I call them diabetic strokes, and my wife has had a number of them, and every time after she has some, I think of some kind of damage that's being done to either her brain or just her body, and I just what really gets me is just the fear of me going to work. I've gone to work, I've gotten a phone call, I've come home, she's been on the floor, I had to call the ambulance. There's a lot of things that people just don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is that to be with a diabetic, and it takes a lot of courage, to try to get over that fear. I mean, there's so many things that could make something go wrong. There's so many factors. If just one thing, she doesn't watch it just right, and a lot of people tend to say it's their fault that they weren't watching their sugars right, but it's not. There's so many things that could happen, and basically it's just a struggle every day, for the support person to live with the diabetic. And I just want to say, that's what I wanted to inform everybody about tonight. And Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Mark. Now, if you will please mark your ballots for best speaker. Again, they would be passed to Rich. That's the next tear off on your ballot.